The apartment is small, 512 square feet. The blinds are half closed, cutting the streetlight into thin, gray bars across the floor. $847 in checking, $3,200 in credit card debt, rent due in 4 days. You don't feel poor. That's the strange part. You have a job. You have a phone with a cracked screen you keep meaning to fix. You have dreams filed away somewhere behind the exhaustion. But the numbers don't lie. And tonight they're asking you a question you've been avoiding for years. Not how much do you earn? How do you behave when no one is watching your money? It's 9:47 p.m. You're tired in a way that has nothing to do with sleep. The phone unlocks itself, almost on instinct. $34 for food you didn't plan to order. It's not hunger, it's a transaction with your own exhaustion, a receipt for a day you didn't choose. This is the first habit, and it is the quietest one. Comfort spending doesn't look like failure. It looks like a treat. It looks like you deserve this. Do the math with me, calmly, the way a stranger would. $34, 4 nights a week. That's $136 a week. $7,072 a year. Spent not on food, but on relief. Invested instead at 8% average annual return, that same money becomes $87,000 in 20 years. You are not choosing between a meal and no meal. You are choosing quietly between comfort tonight and freedom later. Most people never realize they're making that trade. That's what makes it dangerous. 18 months pass. A promotion. $52,000 becomes $61,000. You feel it before you see it, the loosening. A better apartment. A newer car payment, $410 a month, instead of the $190 you used to pay on the old one. Dinners that used to be occasions become routine. Your income rose 17%. Your spending rose 24%. This is lifestyle creep, and it is the second habit, the one that punishes success instead of rewarding it. It convinces you that upgrading everything is proof of progress. But your savings rate, the only number that actually determines your future, has gone down. At $52,000, you were saving 9%. At $61,000, you're saving 4%. You got a raise, and somehow you got poorer. The check engine light comes on a Tuesday. $1,140 to fix it. You don't have it, not really. What you have is a credit card with a 24.99% APR and a decision that will follow you for 11 months. This is the third habit, living without a buffer between your life and chaos. Most people don't lack money because they earn too little. They lack a shock absorber. Financial planners call it runway. 3 to 6 months of expenses, sitting still, doing nothing but existing. It feels wasteful until the day it isn't. Without it, every unexpected expense becomes a loan. And loans, quietly, compound against you while investments compound for you. You are standing at the exact same intersection, again and again, except this time the debt costs you $284 in interest before it's paid off. Your employer offers a 4% 401k match. You're contributing 0%. Nobody told you this was an emergency. It doesn't feel like one. There's no check engine light for this. No overdraft notification. Just a quiet, permanent absence money that was legally, mathematically yours, that you never collected. On a $58,000 salary, a full match is $2,320 a year. Left uncollected for 10 years, growing at a modest 7%, that's over $34,000 you simply decline to receive. This is the fourth habit, and it is the most invisible one because it isn't a purchase. It's an omission. The poor and the wealthy rarely differ in what they buy. They differ in what they fail to claim. The dealership lights are warm, buttery leather, new car smell, synthesized and sprayed into the air on purpose. $38,000 financed at 7.2% over 6 years. The payment is $644 a month. You can't afford the payment. That's what they tell you, and it's true. But affording the payment and affording the asset are two different sentences. The moment you drive it off the lot, it loses 20% of its value. By year 3, it's worth $19,500. You will have paid nearly $46,000 for something worth half of that. This is the fifth habit, financing things that fall in value with money borrowed at a rate higher than anything those things will ever return. It's not that cars are wrong. It's that debt on a depreciating asset is a bet you cannot win, structured to feel like ownership. The credit card statement arrives. Balance, $6,400. Minimum payment, $128. You pay it, on time. You feel responsible. But at 22% APR, paying only the minimum means it will take 11 years and 7 months to clear that balance, and you'll pay $8,930 in interest alone, more than the original debt itself. This is the sixth habit, and it is designed to feel safe. The bank wants you here. This is the business model. Minimum payments were never a lifeline. They were a leash, calibrated to be just loose enough that you never feel it pulling. This is the last habit, and it is the root of the other six. Not laziness, not carelessness, just no one taught you. Not in school, not at home, not anywhere that mattered. You learned trigonometry. You never learned what compound interest does to a life over 40 years. So you made decisions the way most people do, by feeling, by comparison, by whatever the culture around you normalized. And feeling is a terrible financial advisor. It has no memory of consequences it hasn't lived yet. The seventh habit is not a behavior. It's the absence of a foundation everything else was built on. 2 years later, same person, different decisions. The apartment is the same 512 square feet, but something has shifted that has nothing to do with square footage. $1,200 emergency fund, then $4,000, then 6 months of expenses untouched, sitting quietly like a wall between you and chaos. The 401k match, fully claimed, $2,320 a year that used to disappear into nowhere, now compounding, now yours. The car loan, paid off early. The credit card, closed out at $0. The 22% APR, no longer a tax on your patience. Nothing dramatic happened. No windfall. No lottery ticket. Just 7 quiet corrections, made one at a time, compounding in a direction you finally chose on purpose. Poverty is rarely a single catastrophic decision. It's rarely even about income. It is 7 small surrenders, repeated so often they stop feeling like decisions at all and start feeling like identity. Wealth is not a personality. It is not a mindset you either have or don't. It is a sequence of buffers built, of matches claimed, of debts refused, of small daily comforts weighed against a future self who is always, quietly, watching. You were never poor because of what you earned. You were poor because of what you repeated. And the moment you understand, that really understands it, the numbers stop being a verdict. They become a choice.